Today is the Monday of Holy Week. It's sometimes known as Fig Monday, and the reason for that will become apparent when I read the reading shortly. This is a reading which straddles the reading from tomorrow, and so needs to be seen in the context of what Leslie will say tomorrow. But let's start off with today's reading from St Mark's Gospel, chapter 12, beginning at verse 12. On the following day, when they came to Bethany, Jesus was hungry. Seeing in the distance a fig tree in leaf, he went to see whether perhaps he would find anything on it. When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season for figs. He said to it, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples heard it. In the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree withered away to its roots. Then Peter remembered and said to him, "Rabbi, look, the fig tree that you cursed has withered." Jesus answered them, "Have faith in God. Truly I tell you, if you say to this mountain, 'Be taken up and thrown into the sea,' and if you do not doubt in your heart, but believe that what you say will come to pass, it will be done for you. So I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Whenever you stand praying, forgive, if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father in heaven may also forgive you your trespasses." So that's the reading. In Mark's Gospel, it's split into two, and in between it is the event which we'll have tomorrow about the cleansing of the temple. And there's a sense in which the cleansing of the fig tree, for all its slightly strange nature, is a sort of a metaphor for what's going on in the temple. The tree represents the corrupt temple authorities, which are not producing any good fruit. And Jesus, along with many other people, was highly critical of the way they were organising things in the temple. So that's the sort of the metaphorical way of seeing this, that we think of Jesus cursing the tree as a symbol of the inadequacy of the institution that he was coming to cleanse, and we'll hear more about that tomorrow. But it's still a troubling reading when you look at the same reading in Matthew's Gospel. Matthew brings the two parts together in order to emphasise the miraculous nature of Jesus cursing the tree and its withering straight away. And there's something in our day when we're thinking about looking after the environment and so on. This seems out of place. It seems wrong somehow that Jesus would take it out on an innocent tree. The writer points out that it wasn't the season for figs, so you shouldn't have expected figs on it. It was spring after all. So what are we to make of this? Is Jesus being unfair? Is he using divine powers that the rest of us don't have? Because the disciples are going, "Well, how do you do that then?" And Jesus replies, "Well, if you believe what you pray for, even if you want to move a mountain, then it'll happen." I think we need to stop and ignore the idea of this as a literal thing, because it's going to get us into all sorts of difficult places. Just imagine for a moment that we did have the actual ability to move physical things, to create upheaval just with a word of prayer. It's the sort of thing that science fiction movies are made of. That would be an awful power to have. And I, for one, am hugely glad that my prayers are not that powerful, that I do not have the authority or the faith to destroy things in that way. In Holy Week, it's easy to get caught up in our own internal anxieties. But for me, this story draws me out to look at the world around me. I would never want to do that to a fig tree. And so I can forgive Jesus for doing it because there are two things going on there. One, he's using it as a symbol, and two, he's using it as a teaching point to give people confidence in their prayers. We often talk about, moving mountains in a symbolic way. If you've got enough get up and go, you can move a mountain. But it's only a metaphor. It's only a symbol, isn't it? And yet that belief within ourselves that we can do more than we think we're capable of is something really important. So I welcome it in that sense, that it's a story that encourages me to keep going when I think I don't have the strength anymore. This year, I think that's something that we've all experienced. When I was talking to a friend this time last year who was fretting about the idea that lockdown might continue up to Christmas. Well, here we are, and it's into March, and we have managed it. We've managed to keep going, and the posters on the bus shelters are encouraging us to keep going. We're going to get through this. I don't think last year we could have imagined how much we have achieved in the last 12 months. I don't think we could have conceived of the idea that we could be here today and be so far towards solving our problems. And that is actually to do with our faith. We had the faith and the trust to work together for the common good. When Jesus went to the temple, he found an institution that was not working for the common good, that was only working for a small elite group of people who were corrupt and treated other people very badly. So on this Fig Monday, I think we can feel sorry for that poor tree that was withered to the roots instantly because Jesus' prayer. But that tree has become a symbol of so much more, of the possibility that we have to bear fruit, even when we don't think we can. Because if we allow the Spirit of Jesus to work in us, to give us hope, to give us strength, to get us out of bed in the morning so that we can do the things we've got to do, God will work in us far more than we can ever ask or imagine. Amen.